Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday service of Now Creations. Just want you to know what a joy it is to greet you this morning. Just nice to be here with you, to greet each other in kindness and love, and to know that that place within us is a place where all of us are living. Nothing better. Just a couple of announcements. First of all, next Sunday, August the 2nd, we'll begin our first open forum session for Now Creations. Just go to our website, nowcreations.org, click on Study Groups, scroll down to Open Forum. We'll be happy to have you join us. And also I want to call your attention to our online seminar on Saturday, August the 15th, From Earthling to Cosmic Being. All the details are on our website. I also want to thank all of you for your donations to Now Creations. Your support has enabled us to do so many more things to assist our members. Thank you very much. My dear friends, I want to again thank you for the inspiration of your kindness and your goodness that you extend certainly to me personally, but especially to all of our members of Now Creations. And even more so for the fact that you are modeling such an evolutionary way of being to your immediate family and friends. You are indeed a wonder to behold. Today's teaching is a lovely extension of last week's teaching, which focused on the collective you, that part of you that is the same within each one of us. In today's teaching, I want to focus even more attentively on that spirit part of us that is common to each of us in a very, very practical way. Today's teaching is entitled Leading with Your Divinity, and your humanity will follow. Let's begin. If there is a thought that has captured the age of spiritual awareness, it was probably the thinking of Teilhard de Chardin when he said, and I know you're very familiar with it, you are not simply a human being who has occasional spiritual experiences, but rather you are a spiritual being having a human experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Well, this teaching has certainly heralded in a new spirit, and as elevating as the teaching is, unfortunately, the vast number of people who hear it, even those who desire to grow spiritually, often revert back to their human experiences. It's like the human experiences have such a hold on them that they can't seem to shake free of those past human experiences. In this particular teaching, I would like to focus on the two things that keep us locked into that old human experience, and then three things that will enable us to be the wonderful spiritual beings that we are, which more and more of us are experiencing. First, let's deal with the two drawbacks that seem to keep a hold on us, that seem to keep us tied back to our human dramas. The first one, although not the more important, has to do with how others see themselves and how they often see you. In this particular day, still, the majority of people do not realize their divine splendor. Quite frankly, the view is summed up pretty well in this very limited but false statement. Limited but false statement, I am only human. It's so easy to cave into this statement when something is not going well in your life, and especially when the many people around you keep on saying, after all, we are only human. It is often difficult when those who surround you ascribe to this very limited human perspective, and that when you try to elevate yourself, many around you seem to be saying things like, well, who do you think you are? And perhaps even worse, if you pursue the higher path, they hope that you will fail. and then come back down to their limited view. See, you're only human. I know that you have experienced such people. Not bad people, but people whose views are very difficult to get beyond, especially when you're the only voice among many voices, whether it be in your family, in society, and certainly in religion. As limiting as the views of others are, the much more striking problem is really an internal one. What I'd like to suggest, it is that this internal limiting problem that we must face, we must clearly answer, and we must move beyond. The first internal problem is doubt. Is it really true that I am a spiritual being having a human experience? Do I believe it? Am I fooling myself? Or maybe even worse yet, deluding myself? Am I convinced that I am a spiritual being? Have I thought it through enough to say, yes, this is who I am. I am a spiritual being in this human experience. It was the Buddha who very accurately said that the first step in moving into awareness is to have the right knowledge. You must have an accurate assessment of your sense of self, and then the possibilities that await you. Having no doubts is vitally important, especially when you face the second internal problem, namely fear. Fear can easily support your doubting, especially when you are facing a fear, when you are facing a concrete behavior that has limited you in the past. You must face your fears. You must face the behaviors that have kept you limited in the past and can paralyze you in the present moment. There are 2 releases from fear that I suggest will free you. Please take notes. The first one is understand that fear is a past behavior. It is simply a habit that you have accepted into your life. And because it is a habit, you can change the habit by bringing a higher possibility to what up to now you habitually feared. That higher possibility is what enables us to release from fear. What is that higher possibility? The second release from fear has to do, first of all, with the acronym of fear, and then that higher possibility. First, the acronym. I think all of you know pretty well the acronym for fear. False evidence appearing real. False evidence appearing real. Here's how it works. In a practical situation, you might become fearful. It could be anything from people saying critical things about you, or perhaps learning a new computer skill. Something reacts in you. Fear has entered, and you feel unsettled, and you know it. It is precisely here that you must remember 2 things. The first one we already mentioned, fear is just an old habit. And because it is a habit, you can change it. Fears are habits that you can change when you stop fearing and when you start focusing on the truth rather than the false evidence appearing real. The true evidence is that at any particular moment, the highest possibility is that the power within you, is greater than any problem you will ever face. Let me repeat this. Fears are habits that you can change when you stop fearing, when you stop focusing on the false evidence appearing real and focus on the true evidence that is real, namely, that the power within you is greater than any problem you will ever face. When you accept this principle, this power within you, the God Spirit, when you understand that it is greater than any problem you will ever face, you are now on the cusp of greatness. When you accept this principle, that the power within you can deal with anything, you are on the cusp of greatness. Or put in the words of today's teaching, lead with your divinity, and your humanity will follow. Can this truly happen? Can you stop allowing your humanity to imprison your divinity and allow your divinity to lead? Of course. Let me suggest that this is done in the following 3 ways. The first way has 2 parts to it. The first part is to have a clear understanding of the teaching that your spirit is divine. You must have a clear understanding of the teaching that your spirit is divine. Whether you follow Aristotle, who said that your spirit is your supreme ruler and guide, or whether you follow Jesus, who said, be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect, or whether you follow Teilhard de Chardin, you are a spiritual being having a human experience, or whether you like A Course in Miracles, child of God, you were created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. It is important that you logically understand the teaching. You must have a clear concept of what we're talking about, that you can lead with your divinity. You can lead with your divinity, and your humanity will follow. Must be clear in your mind that you are capable of this. But the concept will not be enough, especially when you are facing a practical fear, when your doubts and fears become voices in your head as well. So in addition to a conceptual knowledge of knowing what you are capable of, you must also have a feeling, an inner knowing of what you are capable of. This inner knowing, this spiritual awareness, this inner feeling, it takes time. You have to go within regularly. Not just once, but daily, so that you can build up a permanent spiritual reservoir, which will enable you then to deal with any temporary doubt or temporary fear. You can do this, and as you do, and then meet the temporary fear from your permanent spiritual reservoir, you will know then that the power within you is greater than that temporary problem. Put it to the test. See for yourself. It will work every time, but you must do it. You must take the time to enter into that sanctuary of that permanent spiritual reservoir, your spirit, and allow that divinity to be the power which guides your humanity. The second solution. The good news in that you must do it, you must go within. The good news is you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it by yourself. Of course, there are a lot of teachers like Aristotle, Jesus, Teilhard, the Course in Miracles, but I would like to make it much more practical in this way. There is a very practical Buddhist concept of belonging to what is called a Sangha, S-A-N-G-H-A. A Sangha being a group of people who are moving toward enlightenment. A group of like-minded souls who see things the way you do. It is so helpful to belong to a Sangha, whether it be Now Creations or any other group of like-minded souls where you feel comfortable, wherein you feel that people are genuine and sincere, where people nourish each other, where you fit in, where you belong, wherein you feel like you're home, wherein you feel like you're part of a team, where together each achieves more. You know the acronym. And that you want to be a team member, that you want to give as well as to receive. Let me be perfectly clear. For several years, I searched for a Sangha that would suit me, but I did not find one. So I started my own. Or better said, the Spirit guided me to begin one. I am very, very happy that others have found a home in our group because, and I sincerely believe this, finding such a home of like-minded souls is, next to your awareness, God's greatest gift to you. Finding a home with others. It speaks to the oneness of who we truly are, and we are bringing each other closer and closer to home. And now the third suggestion. The title of this teaching is Leading with Your Divinity, and Your Humanity Will Follow. This is absolutely a true statement, and let me be clear again. We, you and I, we have been created to be divine co-creators who are presently situated as human beings here in the material world. The material world, Earth, certainly populated with many people and situations that can be very, very daunting, is sometimes a very difficult place to live. But you have the secret of navigating here on the planet, namely, that the power within you will not only guide you through problems, which are becoming less and less frequent, as you allow your doubts and fears to be overcome by this power. But what is so wonderful is that this very human experience can be so elevated when you live from the Spirit, when you allow your divinity to lead your humanity. It is this truth, this recognition, that so many of us are now experiencing, both individually and as a group. We are happy campers. We are happy co-creators because our divinity, not only clears out the problems, but it elevates the joys. Do you not see this? Your divinity, that spirit within you, enables you to clear out the problems. That's important. But it elevates your joys. It brings your goodness, your happiness into all of your daily activities. Again, put your divinity to the test and see if it will guide your humanity so much better than the limiting doubts, and the fears of your humanity. Test it out. Try it honestly and sincerely for a week, or even just for a day. I'm going to allow my divinity, my spirit, to guide my humanity. And then you will know. You will know the truth of this statement. And then you'll understand that your purpose on the planet, is to bring heaven to earth as you allow your divinity to lead your humanity. And trust me, your humanity will be so relieved of all of the pressures it no longer has to bear. In conclusion, we are embarking on a new pattern of earthly experience. We are allowing our divinity to lead. We are allowing our divinity to lead with support from others in our sanghas. More will be forthcoming, but for now, know clearly, unequivocally, and joyfully that the power within you is greater than any problem you're ever going to face, and it will elevate your joys if you simply allow your divinity to lead. And as it does so, your humanity will gratefully follow. Let me now lead you into meditation, and what a great joy it is to do so. Let's begin first of all, just focusing on the breath, just never doubting the importance of focusing on the rhythm of your breathing. And as you do so right now, just find yourself being settled by that rhythm, feeling the breath coming in and feeling the breath going out. Do not be lackadaisical. Focus, concentrate, but nothing forced. Please begin. Would you notice how calm you're beginning to feel? Just after a few seconds of going inside. Notice the calmness, the peace, and yet the alertness, your vitality. Just notice these things. And now would you feel the power of these words? Feel them. I am a spiritual being. I am a spiritual being. Would you feel that right now, the power of those words? I am a spiritual being. Do you not feel that right now? You are a non-physical, spiritual being. You have a body, but it isn't you. You use it to express, but it is not you. You are a conscious spirit. Are you not? Do you not feel that? Yes, of course. You have thoughts and you have emotions, but they are not you. They are just thoughts and emotions. And like your body, your thoughts and emotions in your physical body are simply modes of expression. They aren't you. They are how you express yourself. Do you understand this? Your thoughts, emotions, and body are modes of communication. They are modes of expression. They aren't you. You are the spirit that expresses. When you forget who you are, when you forget who you are, doubts and fears enter in. The mind, the emotions, and the body become very limited. I'm only human. I'm only human. This is the false evidence that appears real when you forget. I'll just say it again. It's the false evidence that appears real at the moment when you forget. When you forget what? You know the answer now. That the power within you is always greater than the situation that you are facing. The power within you is always greater than any problem you're facing. Allow your divinity to lead you. Your humanity will so appreciate the alleviation of the pressure. But there's a whole nother scenario when you allow your divinity to lead you and your humanity follows. Do you not notice the elevation of your joys? Do you not notice the escalation of the happiness within you? The way that you show up, confident and capable, a smile on your face, one in your heart. Know the elevation that your divinity brings to you. Surely, truly, it does alleviate the problems. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. Allow your divinity to elevate your goodness. Model a behavior that is expressive of a child of God. You're here to create goodness. Realize your ancestry. It is of God. You're a spirit, eternal. You are of God. Or better said, we are of God. May I say it again? Next to your awareness, the greatest gift is being with a group of people who are of like spirit, where you can be your self. Now I'm going to say something and then ask you a question. Lead with your divinity, and your humanity will follow. The question: does this not feel right in you? Is this not your truth? You are a spiritual being, now and forever. May we together enjoy the human journey of our experience.
sides, faith abounds, and love abides. The light shines bright to illumine love without, love within. I honor thee, I honor thee. Namaste, I honor thee, I honor thee, I honor thee. Namaste, I honor thee. When you are where you need to be, within that space, I honor thee. Seen through eyes, an illusion, seen through spirit, we are one. I honor thee, I honor thee, I honor thee. Namaste, I honor thee, I honor thee, I honor thee, I honor thee. Namaste, I honor thee. Namaste, I honor thee.
What an absolute joy it is to have shared this teaching with you. Thank you. Let's help each other, inspire each other to allow our divinity to lead us, knowing that our humanity happily, joyfully follows. Namaste, dear blessed ones, dear wonderful, wonderful souls. Namaste.